Hey guys, Tom back here for another video. It's been a little while, it's my last one, I think about a month or so. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone is good and all that. Got a nice fat stack to show. Bunch of great stuff I picked up. Yeah, knocking out grails. Huge wants left and right thanks to a couple buddies. One that slowly selling off his collection, unfortunately. Bought a house, getting married, got stuff going on, so I have none of that stuff going on, so yeah, I am able to spend that money on records. Or some of that money at least. So let's just get into it. No more talking. Oh, by the way, I can't post links or annotations anymore to what I show. I know if you guys watched my videos for a while. You guys know that I probably need to remember what I used to post. Links on the screen. Well, YouTube got rid of that, so fortunately, no more of that. That sucks. So, without further ado, first record. I got this at my local record store, Red Squirrel, one of them, one of my local record stores. This is Stephen McCraven with his first album, Willie the Newt, from 1979 on Sweet Earth Records out of Massachusetts, Framingham, Mass. Or Northampton, I'm sorry, labeled in Northampton. It was recorded in Framingham. Yeah, really cool album though. Great spiritual, kind of contemporary jazz, what we're listening to. Kind of in the vein of like Billy Harper, stuff like that. Stephen McCraven is a drummer himself. You also have a couple players from Magma on here. Richard, I'm going to pronounce these terribly, Rout on tenor and soprano saxophones and percussions, and then Michel Greyer, also on piano and percussion. Also from Magma, and I believe he also played in another group, Sky Unit, Open Sky Unit. He played in that one too, but yeah, this is fantastic. I love this. I was able to get this sealed actually, but I had to open it, so yeah, great record. Stephen McCraven, Willie the Newt on Sweet Earth Records. Over here. Alright, so next up here, probably have to go a little bit faster than that because I got a lot of stuff to show. This is a local Connecticut record. This is the Creative Improvisers Orchestra with The Sky Cries Blue from 1982 on CMIF Records, which I think is their own private label. The label looks like, yeah, basically Connecticut private press free jazz, large ensemble. Not really big band, but a larger ensemble. So you have people like Leo Smith, Odonna Leo Smith, who I believe kind of started it. It's his group. Because it's very like New Delta Acri-esque in the sound. So it's free jazz, but it's not as free, not as kind of hard-hitting as that. It's more kind of open and spacious at times, I would say. So we also have people like Oliver Lake on here, Bobby Naughton, Joe Fonda, Mario Pavone, Jerry Hemingway, Alan Jaffe. So, yeah, pretty large group. As you can tell, there's the lineup. Yeah, there's a nice photo of them. But yeah, pretty cool. Kind of hard to find, so I was definitely really happy to get this. I found this in a store in Mass, actually. So, really cool. Next up, a couple BYGs here. I didn't have, kind of been slowing down with the BYGs. I wanted to collect them all, but I'm kind of been slowing down, noticing I don't really like them all. So, but a couple I do like. Arthur Jones, Scorpio. This is number 50. Yep, 50. One of the rarer, different designs with a full cover. But it's free jazz. Basically, this is his debut as a leader. Show the inside here. It's actually more avant-garde, I would say, than just straight up free. But he does come from a blues background, kind of blues roots background. So it's kind of, I said maybe it's more avant-garde than free. I would say it's more calm in his playing. Kind of reminiscent of like Ornette Coleman at times, so like his mid-60s, maybe trio sessions. Yeah, you guys know what the label looks like, so I don't even know why I'm showing that. But on here is also Bev Gurin, Arthur Jones, and Cloud Belclue. So just a trio. But yeah, quite reminiscent of Arthur Ornette's, quite reminiscent of Ornette's 60s trio session. So if you like that, you might enjoy this. And next up here, an Archie Shepp I didn't have. This is live at live in Antibes. I believe it's pronounced Antibes, something like that. Archie Shepp and the Full Moon Ensemble, Volume 2. Said I was missing this one. Sorry about the glare. Can't do anything about that, but a very nice lineup on here. Alan Shorter, Clifford Thornton, Joseph DeJean, Bevger, and Cloud Belclue. Again, they're pretty much on like every other UIG release, so. But very free. Probably some of the freest stuff that Archie Shepp has done, I would say, in my opinion. Definitely some African influences as well, but very free set, so really cool. Moving on to some Cecil McBee, one I did not have. This is Cecil McBee Sextet featuring Chico Freeman, Compassion, from 1979. I think it's from 79. Yep, on Inner City. Original release in 77, maybe on Enya. This is the Inner City release, though. From 79. This is fantastic. If you guys are ever put off by Chico Freeman, Cecil McBee's later work, then definitely don't be like this. Music from the Source, the same players, both fantastic. This was actually recorded the day after Music from the Source. Recorded at Sweet Basil's in New York City. Excellent post-bop set. Just fantastic soloings. Really, particularly Chico Freeman does a great job. Kind of adventurous, kind of yet still hard bop modal stuff. Fantastic. Can't recommend this one enough. We also have Joe Gardner, Dennis Mormon, Steve McCall, and Don Moy on here. So really cool stuff. Highly recommended Cecil McBee record. And it shouldn't be too expensive either, if you could find it. An online pickup, one I got for relatively cheap. This is Doug Lucas with Naira, something like that, 1976, on Shady Brick Records. It's a really good jazz funk fusion record. I don't really know too much about this. I wasn't really familiar with the players. There they are. Once again, sorry about the glare. There is one, but when I check out the players. Yeah, like I said, it's really nice jazz funk fusion from the 70s. His record after this, I think it came out 2 years later. It was really good too. Just a lot harder to find, unfortunately, and quite expensive too. So, moving into some Strata-East stuff. Finally picked this one up at a record fair. Shirley Scott, One for Me with Harold Vick and Billy Higgins. Really nice soul jazz post bop stuff. This one isn't too hard to find usually, so pretty cool. Not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys her playing, but I really like it though. I enjoy it. I don't know why people don't really care for it, but I think it's really good. It's not as maybe as spiritual experimental as some of the other stuff that Strata was putting out, but I think it's really cool. Oh, sorry, I had one more non-Strata to show too in this pile. So this one I got from my buddy Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. If you happen to see this, the Horace Tapscott Sextet, Dial B for Barbara. Actually got this at the festival, at the record fair too. So it's like a mini festival. Yeah, fantastic. On Nimbus West, Horace Tapscott. One of my favorite players, just overall. My favorite pianists ever. Still looking for a Giant is Awakened. If anyone has that, you feel like getting rid of it, want to trade, sell it, whatever, please let me know. But yeah, fantastic. Avant-garde, post-bop, spiritual at times. Actually has a like a 20-minute or like a 19-minute track of Linda Hill's Them Folks. So crazy. But yeah, really cool. There is the lineup. Where is it? There it is. If you guys feel like checking it out. And also, along with that, I got from my buddy Jeff a huge one I was able to knock off. The Ensemble Al-Salaam, the Sojourner. Yes, finally. Wanting this for years now, and finally got it. Fantastic spiritual jazz, deep jazz, just really moving, soulful, really uplifting, especially some of the vocal tracks. Excellent vocal tracks, vocal work. So good. All of this is just so good. Khalik Abdul Al-Roof, probably the most well-known on here, but Andre Strober on here on drums, fantastic drummer, they're probably most well-known. Bevan Turnbull, Beatrice Parker, Mashuya Ali, well, I'm going to butcher these names, and then Leroy Seals. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, and then Fred Crowley on a bunch of little hand instruments as well as vocals. But just the back. Yeah, fantastic record. Highly recommend this. This is one of my favorites on the label for sure. I'm sure I've said that before about a bunch of Strata-East, but this is definitely up there. It's just so beautiful. Definitely go check it out. It's online. Fortunately, I can't post a link anymore, but I still highly recommend going to check it out. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff was actually the luckiest dude I think I've ever met, because he found this in a thrift store for a thrift store price. He sold it to me for a pretty decent price too, but not $1. So, but still, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Those 2 records, and we're gonna go digging soon. And then another one, which I got from another buddy. This is the guy who's getting rid of his collection. Unfortunately, sorry to hear that. Although, in a way, I'm happy because, you know, get some awesome records. But so, right along with that one, another huge Strata-East, Grail, Big Want, whatever. Descendants of Mike and Phoebe, A Spirit Speaks. This is also from 1974, same year as the Ensemble Al-Salaam. And the same kind of thing, you know, this fantastic kind of spiritual jazz, modal, soul jazz at times. Really interesting story. Kind of behind this record, just the name, Descendants of Mike and Phoebe, was kind of chosen to honor the ancestors. I think it was the maternal slave ancestors of the Lee family, or I believe are 6 generations, I think 6 or 7 generations removed from the players on this record. So there's 4 family members, family that play on this album, which is Bill Lee, who was actually Spike Lee's father. So he's the one that kind of, you know, I believe put this together. He had a lot to do with the Strata-East label just as a whole. And it was deeply involved in the label as well, but, you know, a lot to do with putting this album out. So, but another fantastic, just spiritual jazz record, another one I've been wanting for a long time. And there is the Lee family, the members. You have Consuela Lee Moorhead on piano, Bill Lee on string bass, A. Grace Lee Mims on soprano, and Cliff Lee on flugelhorn, as well as Sonny Brown on percussion, and Billy Higgins on percussion as well. So, fantastic lineup, as you can probably tell from me reading that. So good. Just go check it out if you've never heard it, if you're not familiar with it. Another high recommendation, along with the Ensemble Al-Salaam. Not the easiest to find, definitely going to be a bit pricey if you do find it, but totally worth the money, in my opinion. If you can afford it, get it. If you can't afford it, then just get it any way you can, on CD, digital, whatever. As long as you have the music. As long as you're able to hear the music, it's what matters. So, really cool. Really happy to have that. I am actually in the process of picking up a decent sized Strata-East collection as well. So we'll see what comes out of that. And then from the same guy, my buddy Joe, I ended up picking up another huge one. Ray Scott, Timber Timbre. Really cool. From 75 on the Planetary Lights label. I think it's like a free private press label. So yeah, free jazz, real nice free jazz, spiritual at times. This guy played with Sun Ra Orchestra. The other thing he's probably really known for as you know, along with his own stuff. But yeah, nice lineup on here too. Joe Ford, Gary Eastman, Darren Washington. There's the lineup. Another one that's not always too easy to find, but really cool. And this copy actually had his phone number on there, so I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, really, really cool. So one of the people that I know actually I met online has a pretty close connection to this guy, but I don't know if he wants to be disclosing that, so I'll leave it out. But kind of a cool family connection going on to someone that I know, so pretty cool. And then these I also picked up my buddy Joe. Yeah, these were all like over, you know, a span of I think a couple months, so I didn't get them all at once. I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months. But Walter Bishop Jr., Choral Keys, just another great spiritual jazz record, kind of long tracks, long open flowing tracks. You also have Harold Vick on here. I think it's Harold Vick who plays who plays sax and flute. Because Walter Bishop Jr. plays keys. Harold Vick plays sax and flute and does a great job. Kind of post-bop, modal, funky at times. As a lot of black jazz records are sort of in that style. But this is the one I did not have, and I know Carrie just picked this up too, so congrats, Kieran. Next up, back to Strata-East stuff, The Liberation of Contemporary Jazz Guitar by Rodney Johnson, or was it Bruce Johnson and Rodney Jones, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I just got home from work and I'm still a bit tired, so having coffee, trying to chill out, but I figured I'd come on and make this video because, you know, I still want to do it later, so I figure I still have energy. But yeah, great stuff, exactly what you think it is. It's just jazz guitar. It's just the two of them playing jazz guitar. It's pretty good though, some funky parts. It's definitely not one of, wouldn't say it's one of my favorites on label, definitely not as good as the previous two that I recommended, the Sense Mike and Phoebe, or the ensemble Al-Salaam. Those are definitely quite a bit better than this in my opinion, but this is still good though, definitely has some nice stuff on it. Yeah, just guitar. If you're not into jazz guitar, you probably won't care for that at all, but if you like it, then cool. And then kind of in the same concept as that is the New York-based violin choir, just self-titled. This is from 1980. This one is also actually headed by Bill Lee. I believe he plays bass on this too, actually. Directs it, arranged it, so produced it, I think. Did a lot of stuff on here. Yeah, and once again, probably exactly what you think it is, just a bunch of different bass players getting together. Although it's kind of more like a comp because they're from different dates, different venues. It wasn't all recorded at the same time, so kind of interesting. But you have people like, players like, let's see, Ron Carter. Where's the lineup on here? Ron Carter, Sam Jones, Richard Davis, Lysol Atkinson, Michael Fleming, Milt Hinton, so pretty well-known bassists. Sonny Brown on percussion, and then on piano you have Harold Mayburn and George Coleman. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Might not sound like everyone's cup of tea, but it was pretty cool. I was actually surprised at how good this was. It was better than I thought it would be. I sampled it online, I listened to the whole thing. I'm pretty sure the whole thing is online, but when I sampled, it was just alright, but I really enjoyed this. So, really nice. And then Handscapes by the Piano Choir, which is kind of the same concept as the bass choir, except just with pianos. As you could probably imagine this one is led by Stanley Cowell. This is a 2 LP set. Then you have people like Nat Jones, Hugh Lawson, Webster Lewis, Harold Mayburn, previous record, Sonia Smith. Yeah, really cool, really nice. I love piano personally. I'm a big piano fan, and especially stuff like this, like kind of free jazz piano, spacey keyboard, spacey piano. So really cool. Whenever I see this record, it's like never in good shape though. It's always got like stains on it and it's messed up. I don't know. I guess just that kind of material. The cover is like a little bit different material than regular covers, so that's probably why. This record is done. I'm gonna flip it real quick. I think my camera is actually running out of space, but I'll try to fly through these as fast as we can. Next up, Steve Lacy, Roswell Rudd, Henry Grimes, Dennis Charles, School Days session from 1963. That wasn't released until much, much later. 1975, I think, was first released. Basically play Monk compositions, entire session of Monk compositions. It was a big influence on Steve Lacy, so that's how I do it. And this is also pretty significant for the fact that Steve Lacy and Roswell Rudd, this was their first meeting, and then they went out to play together for a bunch. So, but yeah, really, really good, great stuff, great rhythm section from Henry Grimes and Dennis Charles. Yeah, highly recommend checking this out. These next ones here I got from Chris Cole. This batch. Malachi Thompson. Another high recommendation. Nice post-bop kind of record. And free bop, post-bop, whatever you want to call it. Leon Thomas on vocals. Kind of adds more of like a spiritual vibe to the record. Carter Jefferson on sax. Some nice sax work. So really cool. Nice variety. Definitely another high recommendation right here. I don't think that one's too expensive. Actually, you know what? I don't remember how much that was, so don't quote me on that. Beyer Lancaster. Love Beyer Lancaster. Showed him before. Haven't found one in a while, but thank you to Chris. This is a nice mix of like free jazz, jazz funk, and post-bop stuff. Some solo tracks, others with other musicians. The vocal track on here is really nice with Joan Handsome called Sweetness. It's really cool. But yeah, kind of like sort of like a comp, but not a comp, it's an album from 1980. Really good though. Beyer Lancaster, can never go wrong with him. This record I haven't checked out yet, but I'm sure it's going to be good. Roland Alexander Quintet plus Kala Perusa. Yeah, it's going to be damn good, I'm sure. So this one has Malachi Thompson on it as well. In the previous record, Kala Perusa and McIntyre. Really cool. Roland Alexander is a saxophonist. John Bash plays on here as well, on drums. Really cool. So excited to check this out. I'm sure it'll be great. And another Grail, huge want, whatever you want to call it. Julius Hemphill, Dogan AD, on the Bari label. See right there. Fantastic, fantastic. Kind of 3 long avant-garde explorations. Yeah, really, really cool. Really influential record as well. I guess originally there were supposed to be 4 tracks on here, but one of the records got cut. And one of the tracks got cut, so that one got put out. Ended up being the first track on his next record called Coon Business, which is good as well, but yeah, really just fantastic. From what I understand, this is one of the first records to mix like African American music with like free jazz. Kind of do it in this style, so really, really cool. The name, title, if you're wondering, Dogon, inspired by, I guess, the West African tribe that goes kind of by the same name, the Dogon tribe, so it's kind of where you got the artwork from the name. But yeah, fantastic. Julius Hemphill, another high recommendation for me. That one's been reissued, so you can get that on the Heiress to Freedom label, I believe. Another one I've been after for a long time. Finally knocked it out. Billy Galt. So good. If you don't know this, definitely check it out. Excellent vocal, spiritual jazz, modal at times, fusion, soul jazzy. This is the Inner City version. I believe there was one on, I think it was on Steeplechase. I think it came on Steeplechase, but this is the US version on Inner City. Kind of hard to find, unfortunately. When it does come up, it's pricey, but fantastic. Clifford Thornton, his first record, Communications Network, on Third World. which I believe is his own label. I think this came out in, the Julius Hemphill came out in 72. I don't think I said that. This one, Clifford Thornton, came out in 72 as well. Kind of what reminded me. Yeah, free jazz, heavy free jazz. With cornet and piano kind of on side one. You know, I like it, but I feel like the kind of first side never really goes anywhere. It's still good, but I feel like it's a build-up and then it never really builds up to anything. I don't know. That's the only part I was kind of disappointed on. Side 2 was really good, though. It has a vocal performance of poetry, not singing, by Jane Cortez, who's got a record on Strata-East as well. But yeah, side 2 was really cool. Unfortunately, the production or mastering or whatever wasn't really good on this, which, you know, I don't blame him. He's doing everything himself, so private press stuff, but still it wasn't the best, so the quality isn't always the best, but still I got this for a good price, so just wanted to check it out. I'll probably be selling that one. I don't think I'm going to keep it. A few Don Cherry records here. Here and Now from 77 on Atlantic. This was really cool. Some people don't like this record. I don't know why. This record seems to get a lot of hate, but I think it's pretty good. Nice jazz funk. You know, spiritual at times. He's doing his world music thing. I don't really see what the problem is, but it's Don Cherry, so it's a promo copy. A sticker up here. Unfortunately, I got this from the University of Maine when they were selling some records, so yeah. And then another one by Don Cherry, a huge one, finally knocked out. This is Organic Music Society, originally released in Sweden, I believe, in 73 on Caprice Records. This is also an early pressing, but not a first pressing, from what I understand. I don't know, it's an early pressing, that's all that works for me, but it's jazz, but not really jazz. It's kind of all over the place. It has influences of like African, Turkish music, Brazilian music, Indian stuff. So you have tracks with like Terry Riley, OK Tamiza on here, Nana Vasconcelos. So you can tell it's kind of like all over the place. Only 2 of the tracks were actually recorded in studio. The rest of those were kind of recorded on location at different places. Yeah, really interesting record though. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Even though some of my favorite stuff on here is definitely more the like the free jazz, free bop stuff that he does, not really the world music stuff. But still, I think it's great. I'm just really happy to have this. So, Don Cherry, Organic Music Society. Let's trap that there. By the way, thank you to John, who actually traded me that one, so thank you, John. You happen to see this.